Welcome to It's On Halifax with your hosts, Mark Adam and Pat King. It's On Halifax is brought to you by Maladjusted Media and Oasis on Spring Garden Road.
Hello and welcome to another episode of It's On Halifax. I am one of your hosts, Mark Adam, and joining me this week in Pat King's stead is from the Kevin 11 podcast as well as Absurdity, a podcast. It's Kevin McDonald.
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing well. They can't answer you though.
That's cool.
Well, they can actually. If you're live, you can chill in the chat room, and we'll get that up and rolling.
Do it. Tell me how you guys are doing.
Yeah, exactly. Keep up with us. This week, Pat King and Emily Dewar, who typically would be with me here, are off in Cape Breton having a Cape Breton weekend vacation because Pat didn't get to go over Thanksgiving, so he's going up this weekend, and so it's just me and good old Kevin here agreed to come in and sit with us. So
that's how it goes.
It is how it goes, and it goes well because I know you know what you're doing. You have your own podcast.
I only have one episode of it.
The first episode, by the way, is called "I Have No Idea What I'm Doing."
Yeah, and I really didn't. So that's a good sign that I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that my qualifications, how do we call it? Hang them on my sleeve or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I'm super glad that you decided to join, because otherwise it'd be me talking to myself, and nobody needs to listen to that for an hour. Trust me, I talk to myself a lot.
Don't we all?
There's a lot of people that do talk to themselves. Let's roll back. Let's go over some of the things we posted on the Facebook page over the week. I'm just going to shout them out because you're probably not as familiar.
Yeah, give her.
I'm going to have to keep you on
our
Facebook. But a very cool thing that has been available for a little bit, but is becoming a lot more prominent these days, is the smaller ways to carry charge cables, specifically for iPhones, but they make them for Androids as well. It's called Nomad, and it's a credit card. It's the size of 2 credit cards, so you can slide it in your wallet, and if you look at it, like there's pictures of it and stuff, it plugs right into the USB port. Little thing pops out of the middle of the credit card, plugs into the USB port. Another thing plugs into your phone, and off you go.
That's wild.
It is wild. It's literally the width of 2 credit cards. The same company makes one that is the exact same size as a house key.
Oh, that's cool. That's sweet. And that just plugs right in your phone? How much of like a charge can it hold? Like as much as say like one phone? Like
the charge key?
Yeah. Do they hold a charge? Is that how it works?
They don't hold a
charge.
It's
a cord itself.
It's a cord.
Oh,
yeah.
I get you.
It connects your
Okay.
computer to... Yeah. It's just absolutely one of the coolest things you'll ever see. I brought up a picture of it there for those that are watching live. It's like an always on you backup. It's very neat. I think it's one of the cooler concepts that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that'd be great because I've broken. I have an Android phone here, and I've broken several cords just trying to keep them with me, and then leaving them in a friend's car, and then somebody else accidentally shut the door on it, and like that's happened both times to the same. The demise of my cord has been from somebody slamming it in their. So I mean, something like this in your keychain, you know what I mean? You're laughing.
Well, exactly, and I mean it's and like I said with the credit card one, it's actually it's probably just as cool. You know, you could be sitting wherever you want on a beach or whatever, and there's like you plug it right into your laptop. It's like right there. You know, you don't have to carry around a cable. You know, so you can especially where I have a MacBook Air, it's built literally for portability. So something like that would be amazing for somebody that wanted the portability that a MacBook Air affords them. So it's actually really cool the things that they're coming out with now to make power portable.
Well, my girlfriend is trying to get me to get a Nexus 4 because she has one, and she's saying that we could get one of those little, they're like a little tablet thing. You just put your phone on and it charges by itself, and I'm like, I still don't even know how that works, and that blows my mind.
But then I have one.
Do you have one of those?
Yeah.
You just set your phone on it and it just charges?
Yeah, but the case I have for it is for an iPhone 4. You have to buy a separate case.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Like what happens is the case plugs in to the bottom, and it's just a little bit bigger than the phone at the bottom, and fits over the
No,
phone.
I know what you mean. It snaps onto the bottom. It makes it a bit bigger, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but but it's a whole case. So
Yeah,
when
Danny
the
has
back
one of
of
those.
it, the back of it connects to.
But I don't think this is necessarily for portable charging. It's just something to charge your phone. Like you plug it in your house, but it looks like a mouse pad, and you just sit your phone on it, and then your phone charges. You don't have to plug it in. That's what I mean.
Without a case.
It just charges from being on this device. You don't have to plug it in. That's what my
the
girlfriend-
case. No, but I have a case, a portable case.
Yeah, I
and
know
then
what you're saying.
and then there's a pad that looks like a mouse pad, and if I have that case on it, I can just put it on that.
Oh,
pad,
and it will just charge like
and it'll
that.
just
Oh,
charge.
okay.
But I don't
That's
think
cool.
they've come up with the technology where you can just literally put your phone with.
Well, that's the thing. I think the Nexus 4. I think that is in the phone.
maybe that's
because that's
built
why
in,
she's
yeah.
trying to get me to get that phone because she has one and we could, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
But
just have a charge pad.
I'm thinking the next step to that would be like what you showed me here, where it's like one of those charge pads, except it holds, like you can charge it up it's yourself, and that way you can just take it with you.
Oh, they have those.
Do they? And
Yeah.
okay, well there you go.
There was a commercial with Jay-Z in it that actually was showing off some of the power mat stuff that was that technology.
That's sweet.
But he shows up at the club and puts his phone down on the thing to charge.
And then somebody's supposed to drink
No,
on it.
but then he goes to pick it up and he grabs
flips.
the wrong one off the charge pad, and it turns out that was Jay-Z's phone.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's
Beyonce
cool.
calling, and he's like,
What? Nice.
yeah, and it came up with her picture.
Because
and-
Jay-Z just leaves his shit lying around, you know what I mean?
But he
He's got
grabs
he's
it
got
out of his hand at the
nose.
club,
Yeah.
and he's just like,
Yeah.
it was a neat commercial.
No,
actually.
nice though. It's like that's pretty cool.
I mean, the technology, like there's a bunch of groups trying to figure out how to charge your cell phone via the air.
Yeah, like a wireless charge.
Because it's not viable at the moment because of the amount of power required. Mm-hmm. But you can on a minimal level they've got it working. They can't get it to work on a level that's practical.
Yeah, yet
Yet.
being the keyword.
Yet. So eventually you'll have a cell phone that will never die.
Which will be Boss. Which would be sweet.
Yeah. but then during a power outage, you're fucked because if those antennas aren't sending those signals, you're not charging.
Then you should better hope you have one of those pads that store to charge.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. Whatever. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
I
like those
agree.
little things.
So, by the way, we were brought to you by Oasis and Maladjusted Media. So we want to thank those companies. Good times. Moving on. I don't know why I went to that one. All right, so Emily's not here, and I'm just clicking on random shit. So for those of you watching live, there's a bunch of shit coming up on your screen, and yeah, good luck with keeping up with that because we're on our own.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, maybe Pat and Emily will Skype in at some point. We've got Skype available ready for them if they wanted to Skype in from Cape Breton. If they're on vacation and trying to avoid us, that's also acceptable. Although Emily might remember that I'm going to feed your cat this afternoon. So be nice to me.
There you
That's
go.
all I'm saying. Leave it at that. It's not a threat, but it is. All right. The zombie. Doomsday. Debert Diefenbunker.
What? I don't know what that is.
Oh.
What?
Okay, so here's what it is. There's a Doomsday... It's called the Doomsday Debert Diefenbunker. And it's an old Air Force bunker
Okay.
in Debert that is being retrofitted for a zombie... It's a zombie maze inside this
Okay.
bunker. So that apparently they just give you a flashlight, but if you use your flashlight, the zombies see you and they attack you. And if you make noise, the zombies attack you.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
But you have to make it through this maze full of zombies.
Where
and
is this at?
This is in Debert.
What's the bird?
Debert's near Truro.
Oh, okay.
Near Truro. But there's all the whole thing
That is
being
nuts.
yeah. You have to get in and get the antidote and get out.
Is it only set up for like Halloween time, or is it
No,
gonna
it's
be like
it's
a
just
always
it's
kind of a
just
thing?
next weekend.
Oh, just next weekend?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it's next
crazy.
weekend, and Pat and I are going up. And the goal is to get through. You get little touch football flags.
Yeah.
And those are your lives.
Oh, okay.
So it's when they grab you, they're going to take one of those. From
Oh,
you.
okay. I get yeah.
If you get bit.
That
So
would be
then-
nuts.
Yeah, it's fucking
I
crazy.
should lend you guys my GoPro helmet so you guys can go through with that and just record it all.
Dude, I'm in. I'll do
Nice.
it. I'll
It's
do it.
yours for the weekend.
Done.
Just make sure
Done
I
and
get
done.
to see the footage.
I'll just hand it over. You can edit the footage, do whatever you want with it.
Nice. That'll be cool. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, maybe we can put it on the Absurdity podcast page.
Yeah. Nice.
Just for well, let's go back to Doomsday for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea being you're running through a maze full of zombies, and it's just to scare the shit out of you. It's a level like they have that haunted house over in Dartmouth, and this is the step above that. And I don't know why they don't do this more often in more places, because I mean that's a really wicked concept.
I've seen something. I don't know if it's in this. I'm pretty sure it's in like probably L.A. where it's I don't know if it's laser tag or paintball, but there's like zombies coming after you, and you're armed with like paintball guns and stuff like that. So like it's the same kind of idea. It's like kind of like a maze or like a laser tag thing where you have to get from one point to the other while being attacked. You know what I mean? So that would be like a really cool, like a kind of a different take on laser tag or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like airsoft. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of really neat concepts. The problem is when you're shooting for zombies, almost instinctually you want to shoot them
for
in
the head. Yeah, exactly.
And
So that's
not-
what I'm wondering how that stuff works. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if they're wearing zombie
They must,
masks.
they must have a target that if you hit it,
Yeah, maybe.
like it
I'm not sure.
disables them or something. Or
No, the real people. So I'm not really sure how it works.
well, no, but I mean, like laser tag, they have little sensors in it.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure it's paintball. I want to say. So I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
Like, getting shot in the face.
I'd be interested. We should look that up.
I know.
We don't
I know
have
it
Emily
exists,
here to
but
do it
no,
for us.
that's
so,
cool. Next time.
Yeah, we'll just move on. Check out our friends, and by our friends I mean me and Kevin here, as well as Daniel O'Coin.
He's our friend.
Well, what's that?
I said he's our friend.
He's a friend. So
out our
check out our friend Dan with the two of us on another podcast called Absurdity, and that is on the Indie Forge Media website, which is indieforgemedia.tk. You can check out the first 2 episodes are posted, and it's brand new, and it's a podcast about technology, social media, and everything kind of in between there. Some of the social ramifications of some things online, and basically we just rant about stuff, and it's kind of nonsensical. I think Absurdity is a good name for it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of fun though. The second one, it was way better. Like the first one was very messy. I mean, it was mine and Dan's first. Like, you know what I mean? I guess Dan did that kind of thing before, but yeah, the second one was a lot smoother. It was fun. It was a lot
fun. Cleaner.
Yeah, definitely. It was smoother. I looked at the time, and first thing it was like, oh my god, we've been doing this for an hour. You know what I mean? It was like boom.
It just flew by, and there was no breaks either. That was the other thing. So anyway, it's not available on iTunes yet. We're gonna get it available on iTunes so that you can download it to your iPhone or iPod or whatever, and listen to it at the gym or when you're walking or on the bus or whatever. We'll make sure it's available for you. But that's.
I should try and gear up a link. I'll try and gear up a downloadable link right now for not iTunes, just in the meantime. But
yeah,
that'll probably be up later today if I can gear something up.
And I'll get it around to iTunes at some point this weekend, and maybe next weekend. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know. It's absurd. The whole thing's absurd, and that's why it's called Absurdity, a podcast. So check that out, and we'll move on now.
You know the link that you sent me where it's on your I don't know if it's your
Dropbox.
Yeah. Well, if I just right click on the blue link and click save as, I can just save the MP3 without having to just view it off my browser. So if I can gear up something from that to the website, you know what I mean?
Well, the way that the Dropbox is how I serve things up to iTunes as well.
Oh, okay. So I can just have a link redirected.
Link directly to
click it, and then it just opens up a thing where you say download now.
Yeah, it's in a public.
Okay.
It's in a public.
And the more people
folder
that download it, it's not gonna like script your thing where it's like, oh, too many people downloaded. It's
no.
You know what I mean?
Dropbox Dropbox is unlimited downloading.
I have a Dropbox, but I don't use enough to know.
They limit how much you can store there.
Oh, okay.
So they're making money off the storage, not the up down.
Do you have like a pro account where you pay, or is it just like a?
I'm going to, because I'm running out of space, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I deleted a bunch of things out of there. Actually, I didn't delete them. I moved them out of Dropbox, so they're not shared anymore. But to accommodate all the It's on Halifax episodes, because I mean we've been doing it for over a year now, and every single episode is still hosted there. So if you go to the It's on Halifax website, every episode is there.
I'll gear something up for Absurdity, a specific Dropbox, so we can just pump them all there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if we share it, then I can bring it over, and then
you don't have to worry about it clogging up
clogging up my
your
own
box, clogging up your box.
Don't you hate it when you get your box all clogged?
I kind of like it.
Gross. All right. There's an Equal Means Equal documentary that is kind of a neat little topic. The ERA Education Project is creating a documentary to look at the way that Americans view women in society. Did you know, because I didn't realize this until I watched a little bit of this, women in the United States have no protection at all under the Constitution.
Seriously?
Black people, the whole, the equality thing, the march and all that stuff, they have rights under the Constitution and protection under the Constitution.
Only black men, though?
Apparently.
That's pretty fudged up.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, women are not... And the average woman in the States makes 73 cents per dollar that a man makes for the same job.
That's messed.
It is messed. And that doesn't happen here in Canada anymore. Well, in Nova Scotia, there was a big to-do about that like 10 years ago. My mom was actually one of the leaders of the union, PSAC, the union that made pay equity happen. And so what happened is they got back pay for so many years of having worked in the workforce,
making like 23% less or whatever it is.
Yeah, so then my mom got a big check for back pay for all the work she'd done that another man was doing the same work, but because he was a man, he was getting paid this. She was a woman, she was getting paid this to do the same job. Right? And it's just fucked up. Like, I'm a big fan of equality. I like everyone to be equal. Given the equal opportunity, given equal pay for equal work. Where I draw the line is that, we need to have a certain number of female firefighters. I disagree. If you're changing the test to let them get in, because what happens is women can't do the same test that a man can do typically. And this is typical. There are some women that can do it. And if they can do it, by all means, go nuts, right? But if this building's on fire, for instance, and a woman shows up that had a much less intense test, she didn't have to carry as much weight, she didn't have to, do as many push-ups, she didn't have to do as many chin-ups, she didn't have to do this, she didn't have to do that. Like, I don't feel that it's right for you to send her in here to pick my gigantic ass up off the floor, and drag me out of here, because she won't physically be able to do it, and that will hurt both myself and her. Like, you know what I mean? Don't change the tests. I'm all for equality, but make everyone have the same test. Man, woman, exactly. Black, white, it shouldn't matter what your race is, what your gender is. It shouldn't matter. The tests should all be standardized. They should be the same. Military entrance tests for physical ability should not be different for a man and a woman. They shouldn't. But if a woman can pass those same tests that a man can pass, go nuts. And she should get paid exactly the same. Exactly the same.
I'm wondering if it's more of a because I know there are certain things like there was a certain I'm kind of going to go off topic to bring it back around if I can remember. But there was a controversy in the UFC where there was a woman who used to be a man. And she went in, or I don't know if it's necessarily UFC, but it was there was like some MMA fights that she did as a woman, but didn't say that she used to be a man, right? And there was a few girls that she fucking dominated, like annihilated, you know what I mean? Just slapped them around the ring because she was like huge, because like there is a different bone structure that a male has to a woman. There's different hips. There's different. You get different torque. I mean, some women
your center of gravity is different.
Some women have the bigger bone structure. Some women are, you know what I mean? And not saying that applies to everybody, but that's. But I'm almost wondering if it's like, to try and bring it back around to the original, what we were talking about, is it like, are the people who say who have made the test for the farming years ago, when they're thinking this is only men are going to be here, you know what I mean? Are they saying like, well, now that it's not necessarily, it's a biased test almost. Maybe that's what they're saying. They're not trying to make it easier.
But then the test should be the same for a man and a woman. Like if you're gonna say, oh, look,
Yeah, but then
those
there-
tests are designed to weed out weaker men. Like if you're physically not capable of doing this particular thing, you're gonna be
Yeah,
a detriment on the job.
I guess I
So
understand what you're
if
saying,
that's
yeah.
what the test is, then why are we changing it to allow women to do it? To make it easier for them, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no,
they
I
should be able to
understand
do
what you're
the-
saying,
And
yeah.
if you're going to change the test, change it for everyone.
Yeah. Oh, so were they only changing it for women and giving the men the
Yes.
same? Oh, okay. I
Like,
get you.
men still had to do
I thought they
this.
were changing the entire test.
No,
and-
like when you do
Oh, okay.
a military entrance exam, men have to do, let's say, 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups,
Mm-hmm.
and 10 chin-ups, and women have to do like
8,
15
6.
sit-ups,
Yeah.
15 sit-ups, 15 push-ups, and no chin-ups.
Oh, okay.
It's like why is that a thing?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
They should be equally capable. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to change the test,
Change
don't
it for
change it
everybody.
just for women. Don't
Okay,
have
yeah.
a men's test and a women's test, because that in and of itself is sexist. Like to be able to do the job, and the thing is, people confuse equality with sameness.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, totally.
That's the problem. You know, men and women are. I believe that we're equal, and we should have the equal opportunity to do whatever. But we're not the same.
Well, it brings it back
we're-
around to that UFC thing. It's like, yes, that because that chick who used to be a man was taking a lot of like, she was trying to say like, oh, they're just this, they're just that against transsexuals. But it's like, no, you didn't tell these women you were a man. Your body isn't the same as theirs. You know what I mean? It's like you have equal rights to fight women if they agree to it. If they know better, you can do anything you want. Nobody's trying to stop you. But it's when you think you're the same, you're really not, and you can hurt somebody. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, equality is one thing, and I'm all for equality, the same opportunities, but everybody should be equal. If you're going to set up a test, especially if it's physical, it should be the same.
yeah.
I mean, when you walk into a classroom in high school and there's a math test, there isn't a separate test for men and women because our, you know what I mean? Our intellectual levels are different.
There
There
probably
isn't.
was like 80 years ago, but
Well, okay, but we're at the
no,
point now where
I
like,
know what you're saying. Yeah, no.
you know, intellectually we're treating each other the same.
Yeah.
Why can't we treat each other the same physically? If you can't pass this test, you can't have this job. You know, and because I mean that test is designed to weed out weaker men, as well as women who can't do the same job. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If you're gonna have a test, it should be standard. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm not saying that women shouldn't be allowed to do the job. I'm not saying, you know, just the test should be the same. And if you're going to change the test, it should be changed for everyone. There shouldn't be a separate men and women test. Anyway, I don't want to get into that any further. Let's move on. See this picture? So awesome.
What is this? Keith Richards and
It's Keith Richards and
God, they're old.
I know.
And they're going on
And
another tour.
Mick Jagger and what's that?
They're doing another tour. I'm
Are
pretty
you
sure.
serious? They're doing another tour?
That's what I heard.
I'm gonna.
What's the headline? I can't.
The headline is Glastonbury's Night of the Living Dead, and it's in the Daily Mail. I'm going to bring it up on the screen for those watching. The Daily Mail
Oh my
in
God,
the UK.
they're fucking brutal looking.
They
That's
do not
harsh.
look good
No,
at all.
oh my God.
Not at all.
Like, and the sad thing is, like, they look like 20 years older than they are. You know what I mean? Like, they're what? You know, I mean, I'm not saying they're young. They're probably in like their early 70s.
Yeah, they're
Like
up
69,
there.
70.
They're
you know what I
up
mean?
there.
But they look like they're like 104 years old. That's like what the jackass people look like when they did their fake old people. Like, it looks not real.
I know, but oh my God, they
It's
just
Leatherface.
It's so good. I know.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And somebody's comment was that has to be photoshopped. It's like
No, I wouldn't say.
no, I would say not. I would say not. So good.
Nasty.
I don't know how long
my
ago this
God.
came out, but have you seen the American beer, like the beer fridge? You know the Molson Canadian ad, which I like, by the way. I really like that ad, but it's the Molson Canadian beer fridge thing.
I probably did if I seen it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It's
No, this is an ad. Yeah, stupid ads.
That's the way it goes. No, I don't think I.
Greendale's the way it goes.
Yeah. Some things never change.
So yeah.
No, I didn't. So what was it? Was it like something American going on similar?
They did it with an American beer, and well, we'll just
Okay. And hilarity ensues kind of thing? Or something ensues? There we go. Oh, yeah.
How do you open it?
Oh, look, it says right there, Americans, scan your passport.
Any Americans here? Do we have any Americans here?
Anybody?
I'm an American! Get the hell out of my way! Hey! Free beer! Free American beer!
Coors Light.
no. It's Beers Light,
Beers Light.
but it's definitely meant to poke fun
yeah.
at Coors.
Okay, you know what? If I want a water, I just drink it from the tap.
Buddy's loving it. I know. I never seen that. That's hilarious.
Pretty good.
That is pretty
It's
good.
pretty good. This
I love
hour has
22
22
minutes.
minutes. Man, they're funny.
They had a skit a while back that I could never find. It was called Strombeshi, and it was like as if like Gian Gomeshi and George Stroumboulopoulos had their own show, but it was like a wicked skit, but it's not on YouTube or anything anymore.
Oh, boo. Yeah, I just thought that ad was so.
That's wicked.
Shits on American beer. The definition of American beer: a barely alcoholic version of water.
Yeah, more or less.
I just thought that was funny. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, Cat! Way to rip my fucking leg off.
Ugh. He
Also,
loves you.
What's that?
He loves you.
He loves me. Yes, my cat loves me. Yes.
He doesn't know
Yes,
what's
get out of my-
even going on.
Oh my
Look
God,
at him.
Cat! I'm gonna punch you. You keep smacking the microphones too. Anyway, yesterday there was I was reading all about this AMA that he did, or that Arnold Schwarzenegger did. It wasn't an AMA. Arnold Schwarzenegger went on Reddit and basically said, whenever I go to an event, people ask me to yell out one of my lines. So what I'm gonna do is you post what you want me to say, and I'll post a YouTube video
Yeah,
right
I
now.
seen that. Yeah.
It blew my mind. Get to the chopper!
Put down that cookie.
It's so funny. Like, he even fucked up his own lines. Like, I love the man, but when you're watching some of the videos, like when he says, get to the chopper, he goes, get to the chopper. I'm like, really? You fucked up your own line? That's not how that goes at all.
He doesn't reference himself as much as the rest of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess he's not used to. Well,
he's not as much of a joke probably to himself as. I mean, I love Arnold Schwarzenegger too. Do you ever hear Bill Burr's bit on? That was on. I've seen that on the front page of Reddit the last couple, or it might have been like even second. But it was just a bit about Arnold Schwarzenegger and about how, how can a guy who's been on a roll for 4 decades not think that just screwing his maid is nothing. Like that's a layup for the shit he's been through, and and he fucks it all up. And how could he not think it wasn't? I don't know. It's a great bit, but
this one here gets me every time.
Put that cookie down! Now!
yeah, I seen that yesterday, and it was funny because I seen it at first out of context. Like I just seen it on YouTube. I didn't know there was a Reddit thing going on. And I was like, "What is this?" Like a 6-second clip of Arnold hollering. I was like, "Okay, that's cool." Like,
And it was
trying to encourage me to work out. I don't know. Like,
he basically said, like, I'll yell whatever you want into the camera, and then we'll upload it to YouTube. What happened was there was a couple of lines that are not yelling lines that he did, and he recorded them. And he said, and people were mad. He's like, I thought you were gonna yell them all. So like the next one, like he yells it. It's so funny. Like the link is on our Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com/itsonhalifax, it's not too far down. You can find the link to his the Reddit conversation.
Arnold's great. That mean can do no wrong.
It's so good. It's so good. It was so funny. Yeah, it's definitely awesome. Yeah, I don't know what is happening at this point. With this McDonald's thing here, I'm not really sure. It's a picture on Facebook that's being shared around, and it's full of what a lot of people are thinking. It's pretty grotesque. It's a picture of Ronald McDonald if he was, merged with Sweet Tooth from
yeah,
from,
kind of it.
from
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal, that's the one. And it says junk food is engineered to addict you to chemical ingredients, which I don't know whether that's true or not, but it leans more towards probably true to me as far as I don't know the actual facts, but I know that that's it's a very distinct possibility,
Well, I've seen this, or I heard them talking about this study that was done on, mice or some shit that they're always doing, where they gave the mice, something sweet and normal food, and once the mouse would always go for something sweet because that's what we do. Even we always go for junk food. It's just how it is. And then they started doing a thing where every time the mouse would go for something sweet, they would induce a little bit of pain, or I don't know if it was like a shock or something, but it was like even though the mouse was getting hurt, he still would go for that food anyway. You know what I mean? Whether he was, so it was kind of showing, that sugar and that kind of fast food, the food we get addicted to, is just as much of an addiction as like cocaine, where you're ruining your life and hurting yourself, but you just don't care and you do it anyway. Then again, I don't know how much of a conscience and how much a rat is really conceptualizing to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat. You know what I mean? I don't really.
Maybe this isn't the best of ideas.
Yeah, but that's pretty messed. That. You know what I mean? We know it's killing us, and we're just like, fuck it. I'll get a Big Mac with supersized fries.
And the more we get educated, the worse it is. And that's the other thing. Do you know Jamie Oliver?
Yeah.
A chef he's big on health.
Mm-hmm.
He had a show called Food Revolution where he went down to the States and he went to the town that has the highest obesity rate of any town in
North America,
in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And he went and he had a bunch of kids into his kitchen and he showed them how they make chicken nuggets. And it was disgusting. The things they were putting in, and he put it all in a blender and blended it together, and then he cooked them up. And he goes, "Now, who would like to eat that?" Every kid was like, "Me."
Oh my god!
Because these kids don't understand that just what that stuff is, and that's the problem. Is that the kids don't understand. Nobody teaches them, so then they become adults, and then they have kids, and then it's like a cycle of
they don't give enough of a fuck about what they're eating.
Exactly.
Even though they know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It just becomes a cycle, right? So I've recently decided that I've got to really, especially I'm 30 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 20. I'm not young kid. I'm not old by any means. I'm at the point now where if I don't really start looking after myself, it goes downhill quick.
Hard. Yeah,
So I go to the gym a lot now. I make foods from scratch when I can, because a lot of the time that's a lot healthier because you know exactly what's going into that. Mm-hmm. You can, when you go to make your own pastas, you can use less butter, you can use less salt, you can use, you don't put sugar into it, right?
Yeah.
You buy whole wheat pastas, so you're not,
No, fuck that. You buy gluten-free pasta. That's what you need. No, I don't eat.
No, well,
I would love to eat gluten-free. I'll say it right now, but I would love to. Like I did the same as you a couple months ago. I was like, turned over a new leaf, changed my diet for like 2 or 3 weeks. I was getting like wicked groceries and like just the best of foods and almond milk and everything. And I was exercising, and then it all went wrong somewhere. It's up and down for me. I'll go for like a week eating good, and then a week of just binging, and then a week of working out a bit. And
I found that
the future's here.
That's actually the fire alarm for the building.
We're on fire.
Well, we're going to take a break anyway. We've been talking for 34 minutes. Why don't we come back? We can talk a little bit about health and fitness And we'll do This Day in History when we come back. But right now, we're going to run away because the building may or may not be on fire. So
We'll check you guys in a few.
see you in a bit. I also don't have any ads to play, as we discovered earlier. So we'll be back. Auto-tune the fire. Lex? Where is Lex? He's hiding somewhere. He doesn't like those noises. Oh, he's hiding in here. There you go.
Trying to instigate instigate this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Instagram.
I love Instagram. I don't know why.
I don't know either. Instagram's so bad.
Oh,
it's owned by Facebook.
It is bad. It's I'm not
They own your photos. They can sell them whenever they want. They don't have
Sweet.
to ask your permission.
Good. They can do it. Not like fucking. I give a fuck.
That's the problem with society right there. Apathy.
Oh fuck. Give her. If I really cared, then I just wouldn't use it. You know. I don't know. They can use my pictures. Not like any of them are good enough to be used for anything. You know. But if they want, give her.
And we're back. Thank you for waiting. For those of you watching live, the alarm in our building, in my building, where we were recording this, it went off, and the fire alarm, and it went on there for a while. So now we're back. Welcome to the second half. We were talking a little bit before about health and fitness and all that kind of stuff. We're getting really close to the end of the year again, so I'm assuming a lot of people are getting ready to make their New Year's resolutions so that they can break them by February. Do you do that? Is that something you do? You don't do the resolution
I
thing?
don't do it. No, I don't do anything that's even slightly like. I wouldn't even celebrate any holidays if like I didn't have family who expected me to come home for them. You know what I mean? I'm so like,
Yeah, that's
I
when
know.
most people do a lot of their fitness is as a result of any sort of
Resolution, like
a resolution, New Year's resolution, or
I
they,
just know
they
I'd
wait for
break it and it
times.
would-
It's like,
yeah.
well, I was gonna start this month, but I didn't get started on the 1st, so I'm gonna wait for next month.
It's like I don't know why people can't just just do it now. Just start right now. Like just go to the gym.
Yeah,
you know
just
what I mean?
literally.
Well, I don't
kick your
do that.
shit
I
out.
don't. I'm not like. I'm not trying to say people should. I mean, we should. I should. But I'm not going to give anybody guff for being for not working out. You know?
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I would love to be able to have the. I find though when you start working out and you start seeing even the slightest bit of results, that's what gets you in the zone, and you want to keep doing it.
Well,
That's almost the addiction. You're like, holy crap! Like I weigh a bit less, and I can see my my abs or something. I can lift a bit more. You're like, sweet. That's
And that for me, like going with a friend to get started is important because you need that person to drive you.
Yeah.
Once you get to the point where you're starting to see the results, then that's what's driving you.
Yeah.
It's not as important to go with another person, although going with another person I still find beneficial because then they're like, no, you're going to do 2 more.
Yeah.
2 more. Okay, 1
And
more.
you always don't want to look like a pussy. You always you know what I mean. It's one thing when you're by yourself and you're like, I can get 1 or 2 more out, but when there's another person, you want to like, especially when they're smaller than you, you're like in your own head, well, I want to at least try and do as many as this guy's
Well,
do. You know what I mean?
also, it's safer. Like when you
Yeah,
go,
no, definitely.
or not so much safer, but you feel like when you're on the bench press, you got that like you want to do 4 more, but you don't know if you'll be able to lift those last 2. Like
Yeah,
you do
you got
those
someone
2,
there.
and you're like,
Yeah.
no, because if I push this one up and if I bring it back down, I won't be able to get it up again. So you put it up and then you put it down, like you get off
Yeah.
the bench. Whereas if you have someone else there that can spot you, you can go like literally
Yeah.
to failure. So it's always comforting when you can have somebody there watching your back as far as all that's concerned.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it in shape. I have a friend who's he's a personal trainer. He has like a web book, a Facebook page and everything. And I want to look. I know the holidays are coming, so I'm strapped for cash. And I know I'm saying, start working out now. Just 2 seconds ago, wait till after the holiday. But considering like getting a personal trainer to some degree, just because like a few times where I worked out where like I do drywall and stuff too, so like it's not good on the back to begin with. You know what I mean? Like I kind of always have a frigged up back. And so working out sometimes I'll screw something up, or like the next day my back will be twisted. I'm like, I definitely lifted something the wrong way and turned something I should not have done. So I need someone just to tell me what I'm, to do the right things for at least a couple weeks or months. Kind of like you said, almost like a friend at the gym, but I want a friend who like actually knows what the fuck he's doing. Because like I've worked out with a few of my friends who are like, no man, you got to do this, no man, you got to do that, and I'm like, you guys are both gonna kill me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know who to trust. You know what I mean? But my buddy went to school for it, so I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just rambling.
No, it's all good. But yeah, health is a very important thing. You got to stay healthy, whether you work out or not. You should at least get exercise.
Yeah,
go for walks.
I definitely walk a lot. Walking, and like I don't have good stamina. If I try to run, I'd get from like here to Spring Garden, like, and I'd be just rote. But if I were to walk, I could start walking right now and not stop walking till like 10 o'clock tonight and be fine. You know what I mean? So it's not a good cardio though, but it's something. But
it's your muscles are moving and they're, you know what I mean? It is good for you. It's not as good as doing other things, but it's better than not doing anything.
I'd like to get in some skipping for cardio, because I guess I think it's like 10 minutes of skipping is like worth a half hour, or like 25 minutes of running, or it's a crazy like.
Pat and I did 15 minutes of. We did 5 3-minute rounds with a minute in between each.
Mm-hmm. Was it just brutal?
It was brutal. Yeah. And of course I'm 230 pounds.
Yeah,
right?
I know what you mean. Yeah,
like I'm a big dude, so that's a lot of weight going up and down, and it's holy shit. Like my lungs were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I usually run for longer than this. You know.
Not only that, but I haven't skipped since high school.
Well, me neither. That's the thing. Like I got into it a little bit, just you know what I mean. And I find like that's the one thing where. Like that really makes me sweat. Like working out, like doing something like that where you just get the cardio going savagely. Skipping, and like holding weight straight out and just trying to keep it there. You know what I mean? That you feel your pores start to tingle and the sweat just like nothing like makes me like push-ups don't make me sweat that quick, that hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know it's.
Yeah. If you're gonna jump.
The cat. Yeah. At least you anticipated it.
Yeah. I saw him coming this time.
Yeah.
Last time he just was like, by the way, I'm here. Claws up your leg. Oh, goodbye.
Cats, they don't know what they want.
They don't know what they want. Have you Sad Cat Diaries gets me every time.
Sad Cat Diaries?
Especially the one where he's like, was it the authorities opened the door and got mad at me and didn't hold the door open long enough for me to figure out if I wanted to go in or out.
Yeah.
Or in.
Or out.
Or out. Or in. Like it's just like, cats are, and that's just how cats are. They want something for half a second and they're like, no, I didn't. Now that I'm here, I don't.
I think they think that they own us. Like that's kind of what I have in my head. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the best part. Like Sad Cat Diaries and Sad Dog Diaries. The subtle and the not so subtle difference. The cats are like the authorities.
Yeah.
Like as if we're like the police that are like trying to stop them from doing what they want to do. And then there's the Sad Dog Diaries. It's Dearest Human.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dearest Human did this. Dearest Human did that.
I find that I almost feel like cats almost don't, as opposed to dogs. Like I find a dog would think we're more the authority. Where a dog loves to be doing what you say and to be making you happy. Like you know what I mean. But that's the difference. And that's the difference. Where a cat is like you can tell a cat all you want and it's never going to respect your authority. It's like I'm here meowing. You know what I mean? Like if your cat's here and it wants you to pet it and you go pss, pss, he'll go a few more feet away where you just can't reach him, so that you'll have to get up to pet him. He's like, you know what I mean? They want you to make the
and that's why I think that he went with authorities when it's the cat, because it's he wants to go outside, but the authorities will not allow it. Like they won't open the door, and where dogs are more like, I want to do everything for this person. This is my best friend. Oh my God, dearest human.
Well, I seen it was a documentary about cats where, like the difference, I guess their behavior as opposed to dogs is, we domesticated dogs over, wolves over hundreds of thousands of years, bred them to our liking, certain traits. But cats, your cat's weird. But cats originated as house pets when people had barns and stuff in I think it was Persia. And wild cats would come around and live in their barns and keep the rodents away out of their food and stuff. And that's when house cats first, people were like, well, they're keeping the mice out, so I won't kill him. You know what I mean? And it was because it was almost like we needed the cats. The cats came to us as we're dogs. We brought the dogs. We made the dogs like us. So dogs, we bred them to yes, what do you want me to do next? As we're cats are cats almost think if I could just go out and get food somewhere else, I wouldn't need you at all, and I would just leave. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'd poop in the rose bush.
Yeah.
And I'd eat whatever I could catch. But in reality, that's not how it works.
No, they would be screwed. There's enough. I've seen enough skinny, wild city cats that that's. Now then again, I see a lot of fat, wild, skinny cats too. So they're eating something. You know what I mean? They're not all starving.
Let's. I'm just doing the math on the time here. But this day in history. Sorry, English. This day in history. Allow us to move on to that. 1818. Very famous year for Canadians. The U.S. and Great Britain established the boundary between the U.S. and Canada to be the 49th parallel.
Oh, there you go.
1818 on this day, October 20th. It's a pretty big deal. That's the longest uncontested, unguarded border between two countries, I think, in the world.
Oh, yeah?
Fairly certain. It's more guarded now than it has almost ever been, since 1818.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no...
we have no real conflict with America.
Yeah, since 1812.
Yeah.
We kind of burned down their White House.
Well, I mean, we're probably two of the only no, I shouldn't say that.
Canada's the reason that it's called the White House.
Is it?
Because they burned it down and the material it was made out of went white.
Oh, okay.
So made out of limestone or whatever it was.
Yeah,
I forget the exact material, but when we burned it, it went white, and they just kept it that way.
Cool.
And so it's. You're welcome, America. You're welcome. Some of these little tidbits I don't get. Like the Battle of Navarino took place during the Greek War for Independence in 1827. I got nothing. I don't know what that is.
Rough. That's all I have to say what that is. Rough.
In 1892, the city of Chicago dedicated the World's Columbian Exposition. Again, what?
That doesn't really hold any significant thing to anybody. No.
1903, here's another little U.S.-Canadian history for you. In 1903, on October 20th, a joint commission ruled in favor of the U.S. concerning a dispute over the boundary between Canada and the District of Alaska.
Oh, there you go. When was that? 1919?
1903.
Oh, 3. There you go.
Yeah, so that's way back.
Yeah.
There you go. So that was what? 120 years ago? No, 110 years ago today.
Yeah.
Good math, Adam. Jesus.
Oh, that's all right.
1910, a baseball with a cork center was used in a World Series game for the first time.
Oh, there you go. They were just cracking homers that year. I don't know. Does that make it easier to crack a homer?
Yeah, it makes it way easier to hit the ball way farther.
It has more spring to it or something, does it?
Chances are that it wasn't even legal, or it wasn't illegal at the time.
I get you. They didn't have that rule because it was
it wasn't an issue.
Yeah. Nobody was taking roids and fucking corking their bats and everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's apparently that was 1910.
1910, holy.
Then according to this, nothing happened again until 1930, when The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes debuted on NBC Radio, 1930.
Oh, there you go. That's a freaking go.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes.
But people's affinity for him never really went away. Sherlock Holmes is beloved by a lot of people, British, American, Canadian, it's... Sherlock Holmes. I mean, that BBC series Sherlock is amazing.
I've never seen it.
It's amazing. And the American
My father mentioned
The American version with Lucy Liu, Elementary, very super popular.
Mm-hmm.
There's been, well, the Robert Downey Jr. movies,
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes.
I was thinking recently, like, can you imagine if you named your kid Sherlock? Like, if anybody in this day and age was named Sherlock, do you ever run into anybody by chance named Sherlock? Like in real life?
No.
Like, I wonder if anybody carries that name. You know?
No.
It's such a like, just when you think about it, if you knew, like,
You
if we knew
probably
Sherlock
find a lot of those
Jones, like, down the road,
Great Britain.
like,
You probably find a bunch in Britain.
Sure, yeah, probably, yeah, definitely Sherlock. Weird. What a weird, like, what a. When you think Sherlock Holmes, it's you're used to that. You don't, you know what I mean? But it's if you knew a guy like Sherlock McLean, you'd be like, what? Where did that come from? Your parents were hippies or what?
Sherlock Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, Locksmith. Get it?
Sure. Yeah, there you go. I didn't, but I
I didn't get it either. It was an accident.
My friend was joking, saying that he was going to invent a type of lock, and it was called Sherlock, and it was like some impenetrable, you know what I mean? It was called Sherlock, but it was spelled Surelock kind of thing. Like, I don't know, stupid. The things you talk about when you're doing your monotonous construction job. But anyway.
Mao Zedong in 1935. He arrived in Hanoi after his Long March. Long March is capitalized, so I'm assuming that's significant. Like, it's probably called the Long March or something. So it took just over a year they marched from somewhere. He then set up the Chinese Communist headquarters.
Oh, great.
It was 1935.
We could use more of those.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. No.
No, thank you. 1944, Allied forces invaded the Philippines.
On this day, holy fuck. Rough. Allied forces?
Allied forces, yeah.
Why? What was going on in the Philippines then? Like, who was...
They were
they in control of German
Japan
control?
was in control of the Philippines at the time.
I get you.
Also on this day, 1944, same year, during World War II, the Yugoslav cities of Belgrade and Dubrovnik were liberated. That's kind of cool.
Liberated or obliterated?
No, liberated. Liberated. 1947, Hollywood came under scrutiny as the House Un-American Activities Committee opened hearings into alleged communist influence within the motion picture industry. That was the start of the McCarthy
thing.
the witch hunt.
Oh, okay. I don't
necessarily. They were. You ever see that movie, The Majestic, with Jim Carrey?
No. That's what it's all about.
It's very, very much based on that, on the whole. Movies are just like it's
propaganda.
Hidden within these movies is all this communist propaganda, and was
it ever set to actually be a real thing, or was it all thrown out? Or
no, eventually it was all discredited. But as soon as you said communist, it was like the Salem witch hunt. They likened it to that, because if somebody said he's a communist,
they were going to burn you no matter what.
Exactly. There was no trial. There's no proof. No, not you're.
It's like terrorist today. It's the equivalent of terrorist. Oh well, you don't get a right to trial. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a little less like that now. Thank God we've learned from some of the mistakes, but there still is a little bit of that going on, which is terrifying.
Oh, in the States, it's just never going to end. It's only going to get worse.
1952, the Mau Mau uprising against white settlers began in Kenya.
There you go. The Mau Mau?
Mau Mau.
Uma Mau 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 Mau.
Sure, that sounds appropriate.
I think that's Doug and the Slugs or something stupid. I don't know, maybe not. Or the Trash Men or something.
1957, October 20th, Walter Cronkite began hosting The 20th Century.
Oh, there you go.
The show aired until 1970.
Walter Cronkite, he retired like recently, didn't he? Maybe a year ago.
Yeah, but he's
So long and good night.
Yeah, Walter Cronkite.
I think it was Walter Cronkite.
John F. Kennedy Library in Boston was dedicated in 1979 on this day.
There you go.
That's not really very exciting at all.
No. Well, I mean...
Let's see here. Getting a little more recent. 1984, the U.S. State Department reduced the number of Americans assigned to the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, Lebanon. Why is that significant?
Oh, because some people were happy. I don't know.
Beirut?
Beirut.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories about Beirut from that era. I was born in 1983 myself, so that didn't affect me. 1993, Attorney General Janet Reno warned the TV industry to limit the violence in their programs.
Warn them. What was the
It doesn't say.
fucker? There should be more violent. I don't know who she is, but I hope she's dead. No, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that. I'll wait until we're on absurdity before I say things like that.
1995, Britain, France, and the U.S. announced the treaty that banned atomic blasts in the South Pacific. No more nuclear testing.
There you go. When was that?
95.
Oh, okay.
2003, a 40-year-old man went over the Niagara Falls without safety device and survived. He was charged with illegally performing a stunt.
When was that? 2003?
2003.
Seems like I remember that, but it seems like it was longer ago. But
10 years
just
ago.
because I'm like not as old as I feel.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to live in Kingston, Ontario, and we went to the falls for vacation. Marine Land is right there and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Those falls are huge.
Yeah.
They're huge.
How'd you do that and survive? You'd be in bad shape afterwards. It's not like you're just gonna get out of that and be like, oh, sweet. You know, like they probably come to you in the hospital and be like, serve you, and give you your charges while you're laid up. You know what I mean? But he probably didn't walk out of it like, whew, that was a thing. You know, it's probably.
I don't know. That's pretty terrifying, to be honest.
I guess he can have it.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
should have commended, but he should give him an Order of Canada for pulling that shit off.
Except for that, it's illegal. He probably
That's the way it
did.
goes.
Illegally performing a stunt was what he was like. You know,
Oh yeah, I get you.
like he didn't ask for permission and blah blah blah.
If only he had the proper permits.
If only he'd filled out the paperwork,
Yeah.
the bureaucracy in Canada could have went on. 2009, European astronomers discover 32 exoplanets. That's very exciting, actually.
And I think that's probably around when, or no, never mind. Sorry.
We're going to say something about Pluto being a planet.
No, I don't remember. But that's why I'm like, no, I don't know what I'm about to say here. I do that a lot. You'll.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
no. But so what was that? Exoplanets? Where is that? Like, what are those even like?
An exoplanet is... let's have a look, actually.
Is there a thing you can just click on it? Oh, cool.
A planet that orbits a star outside the solar system. Extrasolar planet. Basically, it's a planet that isn't part of our solar system. Or wait, no.
It probably orbits our sun, but it's not part of our solar system. They're just far
A
out
planet
there, but they're not
outside
really
the
doing
solar
anything.
system. Around 1,000 such planets have been discovered.
Okay, so they're outside our solar system. I seen recently they found this planet that's just like floating there. It's not around any star. It's just out on its own. Just like
How does that even happen?
I don't even know. It's the first one they ever. I heard. I was like reading like some stuff like and like a couple like probably months ago where like I think it might have even been Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about how they probably exist. There are planets that got launched out of their orbits, out of their solar system, and are just gone. You know what I mean? There were rogue planets flying through space, but this was the first one they found that it's just sitting there doing its own thing. You know what I mean? Which is weird. I don't know how that exists, but it does. The universe is crazy. We're just finding more and more crazy shit out there every day. Read more about exoplanets. I'm probably hollering into the microphone right now. Or I'm not making it loud enough. I don't.
No, I'm just checking the wiki on it. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Anyway.
Exoplanets?
Yeah, very neat. Very neat.
When was that? 2003?
That was 2009.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the most recent thing that happened this day in history?
That's the most recent. That's the last one on the list.
Cool.
So I think we're done with that. Let's move on.
So it was a pretty boring day in history. Not too much exciting happened. A few Asian emperor dynasties took over some other places, it seems.
Yeah.
A few communist parliaments were established or something like that. Other than I guess it wouldn't be a communist parliament. You probably don't. You know what I mean? There's no need for a parliament when you're in a communist regime. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much everything we've got for this week. I want to thank Kevin very much.
No problem, man. Anytime.
It's awesome of you to come in and sit in with us and chat.
No problem, man. Don't mind doing it at all.
Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/itsonhalifax. We're also on Twitter, @itsonhalifax. I'm on Twitter, at MarkAdamHFX.
I'm on Twitter at IndieForge Media.
Check out the new Absurdity podcast, also on the IndieForge Media website.
Also on their Facebook, if you want to check out their Facebook.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off before the URL.
Facebook.com/ IndieForge Media, as well as IndieForgeMedia.tk. Our website, where you can watch the stream live, as well as check out the latest episodes. You can find a link to the episode archive. All that is on itsonhalifax.ca. So get on that. I want to say hi to Pat and Emily, who are in Cape Breton. I'm pretty sure they were tuning in at some point today. So hi to them. We'll see them next week back here for It's on Halifax. And yeah, that's all I got. So from me, Kevin, Lex, and everybody else, bye.